Let's talk about a feeling. A feeling that the world is becoming, well, less real. It's this creeping sense that we're living inside systems we can't see, systems of control that make everything feel a little bit fake. But we're also going to talk about the spark of the human spirit that just refuses to play along.
I mean, seriously, is anything real? It's a question I bet a lot of us are asking ourselves. Money feels more like a belief system than a thing. The news is a battleground. Our data is just a product to be sold. It's so easy to feel like you're losing your footing. So, is there any hope when the very engine of reality feels, unreal? And here's the thing, that feeling, it's not just in your head. It is the result of a massive architecture of surveillance that's been quietly built over decades. A system that started out listening for Cold War secrets and now listens for vape smoke in a high school bathroom. So to really get how we ended up here, we've got to go back. We're going to trace the line from a global spy network all the way to the tiny little gadgets that can be installed in our most private spaces. What's so wild about this timeline is that it shows you the direct path. Echelon was this top-secret program designed to just vacuum up every phone call, every fax, every signal on the entire planet. And its core logic, the idea of collect it all, it didn't just disappear when the Cold War ended. Oh no, it just got smaller, smarter, and went commercial. So say hello to the Halo 3C, or, as the hackers who took one apart for fun call it, the Snitch Puck. It's marketed as this amazing all-in-one safety device, right? For schools, hospitals, hotels, promising to detect everything from a kid vaping to an actual cry for help.
And this is the crucial selling point. This is the magic trick. The company goes way out of its way to promise that yes, it listens, but it doesn't record. It's just analyzing sounds for keywords, for signs of aggression, but don't worry, your private conversations are totally safe. It's the promise you have to make to get people to agree to put a microphone in a bathroom.
But here's the catch, and it is a huge one. When some security researchers got their hands on one of these things, they found something fascinating. It's running what's called a reverse proxy. Basically, it's a secret encrypted tunnel that leads right back to the company's servers, giving them total control, root access to the device, and yeah, that includes its microphones.
And that, right there, is the whole game. With a simple command from their own server, the company, or let's be honest, anyone who legally forces them to, can just flip a switch, and instantly that privacy-safe detector becomes a live streaming audio bub. The promise of privacy? It only lasts as long as they decide to keep it.
Now, this whole problem gets so much bigger, because this isn't just about one creepy little gadget. This piece of tech is just a tiny gear in a much larger and frankly much more dangerous machine, the automation of human judgment. They call it predictive policing. And the idea, the sales pitch, is that you can just feed years of crime data into an algorithm, and it'll spit out a map telling you where to send your officers and who to keep an eye on. It's this attempt to take the messy, complicated, moral work of justice and hand it off to a nice, clean, logical machine.
So what's the fatal flaw? It's pretty simple, actually. What happens if the data you feed the machine is dirty? If the history of policing in a city already has biases against certain neighborhoods or certain groups of people, the algorithm isn't going to fix that. No, it's going to learn that bias, it's going to automate it, and then it's going to amplify it with the shiny, false authority of objective data.
And look, this is not some sci-fi hypothetical we're talking about. It's happening right now. The Halo Puck, that little Snitch Puck with its secret listening powers, has been installed in the homes of low-income families to catch them smoking. The technology of control, it seems, is almost never deployed equally.
This quote, and this is from the company's own marketing materials, it says everything. A housing director said this: "They don't just see it as a smoke detector. They see it as a tool for prosecution. An infallible digital witness that can testify against you in a system that's already stacked against the most vulnerable."
Okay, I know. That is a really bleak picture. It's easy to feel completely hopeless. But what if the solution to all these top-down tech-driven systems of control isn't more technology? What if it's something radically, fundamentally human? Let's look at another broken system for a second. Foreign aid. For decades, the old model has been, well, kind of condescending and incredibly bureaucratic. We fly in, assume we know best, create these massively complex programs, and a lot of the time, we achieve almost nothing. But there's a new model that's proving that whole assumption is dead wrong. So, a former UK development secretary named Rory Stewart tells this incredible story. There was a project, right? And it had a $40,000 budget. It came with this giant 100-page document full of needs assessments and engineering plans and all this jargon.
And the result of that $40,000 project? 2 holes dug in the ground and 5 plastic buckets. The actual value of what was delivered was just $2,000. 38 grand just evaporated into the bureaucratic machine.
Stewart's conclusion was just brutal and totally honest. The problem wasn't corrupt local officials. He said the problem was the system itself. We stole the money by designing a process that was more about paperwork and process than it was about people.
So what's the alternative? It is shockingly simple, and it works. You just give people cash. No strings attached, and hundreds of studies have shown that people don't waste it. They invest it, they start businesses, they pay for school, they get health care. It turns out they don't need us to teach them how to fish. They just need the cash to buy a fishing hook.
And this is where it all comes full circle. The hackers who bought a Snitch Puck on eBay just to see how it really worked, they are tapping into the exact same fundamental power as a mother in a village who uses a cash grant to start a small grocery store. It's the power of direct human agency. It's the simple refusal to just be a passive object in someone else's giant, complicated system.
You know, the philosopher Terence McKenna had this really wild idea about all this. He argued that reality isn't some fixed thing out there. He believed it's actually a construct of language, of syntax, that our entire world is made of the stories that we tell ourselves about it.
And if that's true, even a little bit, then the story of inescapable surveillance and automated injustice is just that. It's a story. And that means we have the power to challenge it. We can pay attention. We can decide to take things apart to see how they work. We can choose to trust each other. We can write a new story, one that's based on dignity and trust and hope.
So the real question that all of this leaves us with isn't just about understanding all the threats. Intelligence at the end of the day is for doing something. The whole point of knowing all this stuff is to decide what you are going to do about it. Thanks for tuning in.